Welcome back everyone to my channel. I have some work to do on my grapevines today. I have, these are my movedres. These are a wine grape. They're not good for eating, but they make good juice. I don't drink alcohol anymore, so for us it's going to be basically juice. And they do make a really nice juice. Here I have my Concords. I just planted them last year. And they're actually doing really well. None of them died on me this year or during the winter. So they're doing pretty good. They're a little on the thin side, but you know, that's just depends on the variety, you know. These usually get really thick, as you can see here. These are actually, what, 4 years old or so. But the Concords are great excellent for juicing, jellies and jams and things like that. They're really, really good. So I have two that I need to train on the top wire here. This is a 4-arm Niffin, this trellis. We got an arm here and an arm here where your wire is. So there's your main trunk, and you got 2 arms going this way and 2 arms going this way. It's called 4-arm Niffin. So when I prune these during the winter time, I leave the vine little stub on it like this. And you'll have, you want to leave about 2 nodes. Those little knot-looking things on the stem, or on the vine itself. You want to leave about 2 of those, and you just nip it off during the winter time. Then when spring comes, where those nodes are, it's just going to start sprouting out of there again, and you're going to get what you see right here. And on these vines, you're going to produce approximately 2 clusters of grapes per new vine that comes out. And these are looking gorgeous. I mean, look at this here. They're just excellent. I got another one over here. And they're looking really good. And each vine is going to produce 2 clusters of grapes per vine, new vine that comes out in the spring. Let's see, what else? So right now I'm just going through here and tying down what I think needs to be tied down to the wire, because you don't want things dangling, or the main arm that comes out of here to be dangling. You know, if it's dangling too far, you want to snip it off. The main vine, I should say, not these here. These you just let grow and let the grapes grow on them. And then when winter comes again and they're dormant, then you snip those vines off. You leave about that much, and about 2 nodes, and you're ready for next spring. But anyways, I got some work to do here. I got some grapes I have to train on the wire. Let's do that right now. Let me show you how it's done. So this here is my Concord grapes. When your first year, you want the vine, let it grow up and past your first wire if you're doing a 4-arm Niffin. You want to cut away the vines that are coming out through the main trunk here. You really don't need them. Leave a few, because the plant needs energy from the sun, you know, because of the leaves. So you're going to leave a few of the leaves. But when you start getting close to the wire, you want to leave those alone. Because what's going to happen is, like this one here, this vine grew. This one is going to attach. This needs to get a little bigger yet. It needs to attach here so I can continue a vine here. And this little guy right here, once this vine grows, it's going to be attached to here and continue on. Or I may get this one here and bring it up on here and let it grow down this, you know. And the ones that I don't use, you want to snip those off, but leave like 1 or 2 nodes on there. Just in case something happens to these vines. And let me show you up here what's going on. So you can see the main vine went and just bent over to the right here. What we need to do is straighten it out a little bit. And you see, when I straightened it out, I got this vine right here. It's going perfect in my direction. So this bad boy is going here. And you can see here, this continued on, it's going this way. And we're going to put that on the top wire. So it's going to be this one and this one on the top wire. And then I'm not going to touch them anymore after these, you know, continue on. And like this one here is kind of going this way. I'm going to leave it for this year. It's got grapes on it. Then when spring comes, when winter comes, these go dormant. I'm gonna snip this maybe here or here. Leave one. Well, here it's got 1, 2, 3 nodes. So I'd probably snip it right about there. And this will grow another one next year and grow grapes. And this will continue on down. And this one's going to continue on down the wire. So that's basically all you do. You just find the vine that's growing out of the main stem or the main trunk that's in favor of that wire. And in my case here, it's this one for this wire. And this, I'm just going to continue this one on down on this wire here. So it's going to work out really, really good. And some of the bottom ones I'm going to have to wait a little bit. The one's a little bit too small yet, but it'll make it. So we need to straighten this guy out a little bit. Let's see here. Something like this. Keep that up here. Maybe I'll put another one just for extra strength. Okay. So the main vine, we got a vine coming out this way. This one's going to go on the top wire. And the main vine here is just going to continue on with this new one on the main trunk. This I can probably snip off. So it looks like this is dead. So I'm just going to snip that off. This is the main vine of the grapevine. And this one's working right in our favor. We're just going to continue this on down the wire. So we need to staple that down. Now, everything's very delicate, so you got to be very careful when you're doing stuff like this. And then probably another one here. Like that. So we got that one going that way. This one here, we could put one here. And another little one over here. Like that. Yeah, that looks all professional like. This vine growing up, we're going to leave that because this is going to produce grapes for us. And that's what we want. And then again, when winter comes and this all goes dormant, this one here, we're just going to cut right here off and leave these 2 nodes, because then the following spring they're going to sprout out of here. And even here sometimes. And that'll be our new grapes for next year. This is going to be 1 year old next year, and it'll sprout out of here as this continues on. So as this goes on, you're going to start getting more vines coming out of here and so on and so forth. So over here on my first wire, this is too tiny yet, but this is the one that's going to go along here. This one is working in our favor. There is a tiny little bud coming out here, and I could also use this one for here, but we're going to leave these 2 alone. I'm going to see which one takes off and is stronger. I may end up putting this one down this wire, or I may use this one. We'll see. We're going to leave these alone. They're too young yet. This one here is working in our favor, but it's still a little bit, I'm afraid I don't want to break it, you know. We can put this here, but it's a little young yet. We're going to wait. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to wait a little bit on this one. Once this gets a little bigger, then I can attach it to this wire here and let it continue on. Like I said, we have a little bud here, but it's too small, and this would be perfect if it was bigger. We can bring it right onto the wire, but we got to wait. We'll see. So that's how you do that. Main stem, you find the one that's in your favor, go there, and then the other one that's in your favor, and take that on down the wire. And you do the same thing on the second wire if you're doing a 4-arm niffin. Or whatever type of trellis system you have. Once you get close to that wire, whatever vine works in your favor, take it and take it down the wire, you know, and use that as your main arm for your grapes. All right, guys, I got 3 Alwoods grapes. They're just like the Concords, but they are a tad bit bigger, the grapes itself. But as far as taste, they're almost identical. And they're that really deep blue, black, purple color, which I love. Full of antioxidants and all that good stuff. Okay, let's start planting those and I'll show you how I'm going to do it. So guys, this is where my other Alwood used to be. I put a stake here because during the spring here the grass grew over it here. And I got a T-post here and a T-post over here. And you want it obviously right in the middle because you want your arms to go on either direction and directly under the wires, of course. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to amend the soil a little bit. Now they do tell you on these instructions when you're planting them not to add amendments, not to add fertilizer. And I can agree to that, to the fertilizer part, if you're using synthetic fertilizer. Because if you use synthetic, you're just NPK, like your Miracle Grows and stuff, or your granular type synthetic fertilizers. You'll burn the roots, so you don't want that. Those type of fertilizer, if you want to use those, you want to sprinkle those after everything's done and they've been established for a little while, maybe the following year, then you sprinkle that around the plant on the ground itself. And then it'll soak down in. But know this, that's using synthetic fertilizers in time, if you use it too often, it'll destroy the microbiome in your soil, all the good bugs. Those are the ones that keep your soil alive. And you don't want that. So I personally would use organic fertilizer. If you got chicken manure like I have, you can compost that in a compost pile and use that. I like adding organic fertilizers that you buy at the store. Those will not burn your roots. I don't care how much you use. They will not burn your roots. They're very low in nitrogen, but it's enough because I've used that around other areas. I sprinkled that around some of my trees and that grass got real green quick. So anyways, we're going to dig this out here. We're going to amend it with compost. Sometimes they tell you not to use compost because they say that it will keep the roots going farther out. In other words, they'll stay where the nutrition is. I don't think that's totally true. I mean, roots will just keep on going and looking for nutrition. So I've never really had a problem with that. I got trees planted that way. Roots just keep on going out looking for nutrition like they normally do. So we're gonna not dig out, but we're going to mix about 3-foot circle roughly. Yeah, 3 foot, that's not even, yeah. Now, the beautiful thing is it just rained here a couple days ago. I mean, we got a lot of rain. Look at that 1 foot, I just pushed it in. I normally wouldn't be able to do this just like that. Of course, I amended this last year, the soil around here. So anyways, I'm just going to do this. Then we're going to put some compost on top of it. I'm going to till it in with my walk behind tiller. If you don't have a tiller, it's okay. Just use a shovel. Do it the old-fashioned way. Mix it all in. And once I get it all amended, mixed, we're ready to plant. So here I have a 355 organic fertilizer. This is a tree fertilizer for fruit trees. It'll work for grapes. I'm going to sprinkle about 2 cups of that on there. Remember, organic does not burn the roots. And just what we're doing here is we're going to mix it in to the soil. So when the roots do spread out in their first year, they're going to latch on to that organic fertilizer, and they're going to suck all the nutrients out of it and help it to grow. Let me get under here. Alright, so I made my hole here where I want the plant to go, and it's got to be directly underneath my wires, and of course in the middle between both of my trellis posts. So here are my grapevines. I've had these soaking for a couple hours. You want to get the roots nice and wet. Let's see, let me put, this one's starting to bud, so let me get this one in the ground. Got a little tiny bud here. So they're just waking up. Make sure the roots are nice and spread out, of course. You don't want them all knotted up like that. You want them all spread out. There. As long as they're all going out, that's good. And then once you know you got it right under the wire, it's right where you need it, start filling it in. These are not grafted. That's one thing I got to mention. These are not grafted here. These are cuttings, and they just grew roots out of the cuttings. They usually grow the roots out of the node that's down there. It's one of these nodes here. If this was grafted, like my Movedres were, you want to make sure the graft, where they grafted the 2 pieces together, is above the ground, okay? But ours is not grafted, so we are good to go. These should be actually stronger. Okay, I don't want it too deep. Let's get some soil in here. Maybe that'll be good. Let's try that. Yep. Pack it a little bit. Okay, the ground is pretty moist right now, so it's good. We've had a ton of rain a couple days ago. Tons of rain. Okay, I'm going to create like a bowl in here, like a dish, so the water can collect. If you live in a really wet climate or it rains a lot, you don't have to do that, because your ground's going to be moist already, or it's going to be moist to begin with, and all throughout the year. Here in the summer it gets very, very dry, so when I water it, the water's got to stay in this area. Okay, did that. Now we're going to put some mulch around here, and hopefully this bad boy will take off here. There, now we'll just put a little bit of mulch on top. These are just, well, they're not quite broken down wood chips, but they're wood chips nonetheless. And that'll keep all the moisture in the soil and help keep the weeds down. Okay, that looks pretty good. We got a little bud coming out here, and once that gets going, I'm going to bring that straight up here, up to the other one. When that starts vining out, I'll continue the vines down the trellis here, same for the top. That won't be until, if I'm lucky, late this year, but most likely next year I'll be doing that. Anyways, at least I got them in the ground, and I'll keep you updated. And when it does get to that point, I'll show you again how to get the vines going down the trellis. Alright guys, so appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video.